So after a day at the Space Center, which was beautiful weather, beautiful blue skies, low to mid 80s, it is back to being overcast and foggy, which is exactly what it was like when we came in here Friday night. It is Sunday morning. We have checked out of our hotel, the Fairfield Inn by Marriott, and we are on our way home. We have an event that we're going to on the other side of Houston before we get on the road, but we'll kind of leave that one out and we'll show you the trip home. And here we go. You ready?
Let's do it.
We are in Navasota, Texas, just off the frontage road next to Texas Highway 6 at a charge point station at Mid-South Electric Co-op. And according to PlugShare, this is a free charger, so good on it. According to a better route planner, we only need to be here for a few minutes. So we're going to go ahead and get the charge started, and I'll stay up with you. But coming soon to this channel is going to be one of our Tour de Chargers videos for ChargePoint. We're going to use this charging session here as that experiment and way to monitor it and all of that stuff. So for our road trip video, you'll just see us when we pull out of here. And we're plugged in. Woo! I hit the tree branch and it poured water on me, and that looks like it's a shower. So we just finished up doing our Tour de Chargers video of our 10-minute charge stop. This was supposed to be, according to a better route planner, an 8-minute stop. It is, but we also added maybe about another 14, 15 miles of driving based on the plan. So that's going to be
a little bit more driving than we had planned.
We did more driving than we planned. We did leave the hotel in Webster at 100%. We used the destination charger there and didn't see a single EV at that
not at that hotel.
Not at that hotel. Saw a lot of EVs all over Houston. Houston has a lot of EVs, especially Teslas.
Almost all Teslas.
There was so many Teslas, but we did see a Lightning and a Polestar and 3 other Bolts. But so many Teslas. It was in the multiple dozens of Teslas that we saw. 7 of them just at the Space Center parking lot. But we're getting close. We are at 164 miles of projected range, and my target is 165. So I'm going to go ahead as soon as this hits to 165, and I'm going to stop the charge.
Should be any second, because
Should
it's
be
at
any
164 right now.
Usually, because on the charge point right there, it says stop. So I'll stop the charge from my phone, and then all I got to do is go out and unplug, and we're back on the road. This is not refreshed. We've been here for 16 minutes according to the app.
And it just hit 165.
And we just hit 165. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the charge there at that 16 minutes. We are at 68% state of charge. Charge session is stopped successfully. I'm going to hit OK. Machine out there says charging complete. So I'm going to go out and unplug, and we will get back on the road. Unplug, put this little peach colored flap up, close the door. get showered on by the tree that I bump into with my head again. Replace the plug. Cost zero, 9.865 kilowatt hours added. Well, I can't hit done. Well, yeah, there's no button. I don't know why it says done on the screen like it's a touch screen. It's not a touch screen. But yeah, that was a free charge, free almost 10 kilowatt hours.
Nice.
All right. The upside to this charger was that was free, but the amount of power that we took and the amount of time we were here, that would have been like maybe $1.50 at an Electrify America with the 15 cents a minute rate that we were paying on the way down to Houston. So yeah, we saved $1. Easy to get to, no problems with the charger at all. Downside, that tree that I always would bump with my head, it didn't hurt, but it just like poured water on me every time I did. And there's no restrooms here, so we need to stop and hit a restroom before we really get driving again. Our next stop is just north of Waco in Lacey Lakeview at a Road Ranger gas station that has new FreeWire chargers, and we're going to try the FreeWire chargers out. We are in Lacey Lakeview, Texas, just a little bit north of Waco, and about 3.5 miles south of here, we passed a Walmart with an Electrify America charger at it, and we weren't planning on stopping there. As we went past on the freeway here, that's Interstate 35, we looked over and saw a lot of EVs parked at it. There's a chance that one might have been full. But we weren't planning on stopping there, we were planning on stopping here. This is called a Road Ranger. It's a type of gas station, big gas station. And Rachel, you can show back there, you see they got all the food stuff, and it's a charging station right next to gas pumps. So, but it is a FreeWire charger. It's got a QR code down there for EV Connect. I was trying to figure out some information about this when I was planning it, and it didn't say they were affiliated with EV Connect. So I'm just going to be paying this with the credit card reader. From what I understand, this type of charger, you know, there's no big cabinets around it like you see at an Electrify America, because in here there's a big battery pack. And so this thing charges itself off of normal 240 power, like almost as if it has a level 2 charger. It's just taking level 2 power to charge its own battery, and then from its battery, it can charge electric vehicles up to 150 kilowatts. Our car doesn't need that. So these are inexpensive to install. These specific chargers are from the Volkswagen settlement that was made with the state of Texas, and they're easy to install. These should be popping up pretty frequently. The downside is if someone just left and the battery in there's dead, it's going to be a level 2 charger. So we're about to find that out. We'll stay on this long enough to get the charge started, and then we'll be monitoring things. So here we go. Get that ready. Push. I'm gonna over here, and you can see the screen. Big honking screen here. So I'm gonna push the start button. It says it's initializing. Plug in vehicle to start, and verify vehicle is off. So I've got my card here. Grab the. Oh, it's got some serious heft to it. Okay, we're plugged in. And notice this light here turned red, but that light's green. So someone could legit pull up into this spot, plug into the same exact cabinet. Don't know what's going on. I'm connected. I hit cancel on that. I've got the card in. I'm pushing start. Now it's starting up. Okay, so I want you to plug in first before you do a thing. Is it gonna do a thing?
There you go.
Ah, it started. So it says that we've rolled in at 20% battery, and we're currently getting 52 kilowatts. And this is our last charge stop before we're home. So I'm gonna look up, I think we've got 77 miles to go. So the magic number is gonna be 127 miles of range, and right now we're at 52. So we've gotta be here for a bit. We're getting really good speeds, and I'm going to go into a little bit more depth on a Tour de Chargers video on this, and we'll cut in and out as we go. We've been here for 12 and a half minutes. According to the charger, we're still getting 53 kilowatts. Range-wise, we've got 94 miles of predicted range. So we need about another 30, 31 miles. Maybe an additional 10 in case we decide on a different route when we go home. If we go to 140, we got like 45 miles to go. Because of the cost of this, we're probably not going to want to do that much more. We're going to go in and get some food. But yeah, really cool. We've got another Bolt sitting right over here behind us. They were here when we got here. And the charger thing on this, it was here a minute ago, and now it's here, the green. So that green bar does go up as the car gets more full, which is cool. And this one can still charge at 75 kilowatts. So this is a 150 kilowatt cabinet, but it's shared. It's kind of like the version 1, version 2 Tesla superchargers, that both plugs will work, but you're sharing it with whatever other car's plugged in. So I guess etiquette at these free wires, if there's multiples, is don't park at the same machine as someone else unless there's no space, because that's going to interfere with everybody else's speed. That's my guess based on that. I don't know that for a fact. It's just a guess. I want to clarify, that's just a guess. So if I'm wrong, it's because I was guessing. So we're going to go in. We're going to order some food. We're probably going to order it to go. Come out here, and it'll probably take us about 10 minutes, and we'll see where we're at. And if we've got enough power, we're going to unplug and go home. One last thing before we go in. 3.5 miles that way, in case I didn't say it in this clip, there's an Electrify America at a Walmart, and when we drove past it, we saw what looked like a bunch of EVs parked at it. I'm looking at that station on the Electrify America app. It has 6 stations, and 4 of those 6 stations are currently in use. Here, technically got 8 stations, but 4 cabinets, and 2 of them are in use. So that's nice. Here we are just outside of Waco, Texas. There's 2 locations with DC fast charging for EVs, and between the 2 of them, there are 6 EVs charging right now. There was a 7th here a minute ago. So that's a decent amount of EV traffic. So we went in to go to the bathroom, saw the sign out there that said Texas Governor Ann Richards was born in Lakeview in 1933. That's where we are. And then we went over and we ordered some dinner, and they were kind of out of everything. So it took a bit, and we ordered our food, got it to go, and came out, and we were gone until this is at 35 minutes now. We did not need to stay here. This is not the car's fault. We probably could have left 5-10 minutes ago if we're just going off the charge. Bottom line, we're done. We're good to stop charging. So I'm going to push stop. stop charging. There we go. Finishing charging sequence. I forgot to look at what that said, how much it cost. It's okay, I can go back and I can look on the video and put it up in a graphic right here. Return charger to holster. So push the button, it unlocks. There we go. And returned to holster, it clicks in. Plug return to charger. There we go. Hey, here's an update. 29.43 kilowatt hours delivered. Total cost $11.32. Here for 35 minutes and 23 seconds. We went from 20% to 68%. We're good to go.
You can hit for pricing details. Oh no, that's how much.
Yeah, that's just going to tell me how much it is. 32 cents per minute.
Yeah.
All right, well, off we go. Let's close this up. We have, depending on which route we take, either 73 miles or 82 miles to home. We've got way more range than we need. We'll put in a final traveling montage and give you our final thoughts when we get close to home. According to Waze, we're 36 miles from home, but the sun is going down, and we wanted to have sunlight for our final thoughts on the trip. So, Rachel, what are your thoughts?
I had a great time. It's fun. I like the car. I like the way we road trip. It was a great experience for me.
And I just like taking the thing out, and I kind of like stopping at the fast chargers. I really do. So I'll get some B-roll footage, and I'll actually put the actual numbers down to the 10th of a mile and all of that stuff up on the screen. I'll get video of that with my phone when we pull into our driveway. Right now, we've gone 656.6 miles with 35 miles to go. So my guess is we're going to be somewhere around 691 when we pull into our driveway. Although I think Waze is asking us to take that last tollway that we're not going to do, so it might be a little more than that 691.
We had enough tollways in Houston. We don't really need to do tollways.
Done enough tollways for the trip.
We're not in a hurry anymore.
We're currently showing 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour, but whatever I put up on the screen now is going to show you the total miles of the trip and the average efficiency according to the trip odometer. Even though we left our hotel this morning, we had things to do in Houston, which was the main purpose of the trip, and so we didn't even start on the road until about 2 o'clock, and we're going to be rolling into home at about 8 o'clock, which means this is about an 8-hour drive. Because
6 hours.
Yeah,
we left at 2. We're getting here at 8, so that's 6 hours.
So that was a brain fart. So a 6 hour 6 hours on the road for us, and the first thing that a lot of folks are going to say is, oh, well, that's just too long to road trip a Bolt. It's like an extra hour. From where we left to our home is going to be about 300 miles, because it was 290 something to get to Houston. We drove around Houston for 100 miles yesterday, and then another 300 back. We're going to be really close to 700 miles on this trip. So 300 miles takes about 5 hours.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, there's going to be somebody jumps on the comments and says, it's a 4-hour trip. If you average 75 miles an hour, there's surface streets there, guy. What speed are you going?
Yeah.
Anyway,
well, and besides, that's not the way we prefer to road trip. If you are that type of driver, that
an EV is not for you.
Yeah.
But we were just discussing that the fastest trip to Houston we ever took was about 5 hours. And that was 2.5 years ago in my old truck. We drove down to pick up your Honda Rebel.
Right, that was in the Ford F-150.
And we were trying to get there quick. The dealership closed at 6. We weren't going to make it by then, and they were going to stay open. So we were trying to get there by 7, but we knew what we were going to do. We know us. We're going to stop to go to the bathroom. We're going when we have to. We're going to stop and get food when we have to. And no, we're not going to sit down and eat. We're going to go into a place, order, or go through a drive-through and eat it as we drive. But
I mean, that's us in a hurry.
That's us in a hurry.
Right.
And that was 5 hours, but that motorcycle dealership was on the north side of Houston. Friday night, we drove right past that motorcycle dealership, and we still had 48 more miles to go to where we were staying for the night.
Right.
And that trip down to Houston took us about 6.5 hours.
Right.
So yes, stopping to charge added a little bit more time than we would have normally taken.
Right.
Today we added time because there was that oversized load vehicle that on Texas 6 that had the traffic stopped for a couple of miles in both directions. We had the hang up when we were ordering dinner.
Right.
That just took longer.
Took a lot longer than
we ended up being in there, go to the bathroom and just waiting to get our food for 20 minutes. We didn't need to stay there that long. We've got way more power than we need to get home.
Right.
We got 32 miles to home and 111 miles of predicted range. So we charged longer today than we had to.
Right.
But even charging as long as we did today, it was under 50 minutes.
Right. So the point is that we could have done it faster even with this car. There were just other things that caused us to be a little bit delayed because we're not in a big rush. We don't care that much.
Our last series of road trip videos had a lot of people complaining about how long it takes to road trip an EV, and or I should have gotten a EV that charged faster. And I don't, even the few times that we have to sit for an extra 10 minutes and wait for the charger, it gives me a chance to decompress from the road and, clean out my email box, play a couple of games on my phone for a sec, and just kind of give the part of my brain that controls the car and looks for hazards and all of that stuff. Because if you've been with my channel for a while, you know that this used to be a motorcycle geared channel, and I still have my motorcycle, and if you ride a motorcycle, you're more aware of what's going on around you because everybody who's not on a motorcycle is out to get you.
That's true.
So
yeah.
Sometimes I just need to give that part of my brain a break, and maybe our motorcycle road trips, because sometimes we'd need a break to give our butt a break.
Right.
And so we got used to just stopping more frequently, and when we stop for a while.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. And again, just to those people that find this type of road tripping just not the way you like to travel, that's perfectly legitimate. Get a car that suits your needs. We're not trying to tell you that everybody needs to have an EV or that everyone needs to have a Bolt or that everyone needs to travel the way we travel, but we like it, and if you're like us, you might like it too.
And that has been our road trip to Houston. Almost 700 miles in the same state, and it's barely a fraction of this. Is a big state. It's a lot.
Texas is big, y'all.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. We're going to put together some other videos out of this. We'll throw together a video about our day at the Space Center, and got a couple of Charger videos, so look for those. That's all part of this trip. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for some more. Hey, there's our county.